Hey everybody, it's Erin Reed, and today we are doing a challenge. And I'm not the only one, there's a bunch of us, and the links for all the people that are doing the challenge are going to be down below. So make sure you check that out because there is a ton of prizes and just inspiration for how we all use the same materials but to create something that is so different for each of us. So what the challenge was is that everybody who's doing this, whether it could make a video or they could do a blog post, they all received the VIP bag from Creativation. So we're all VIPers. VIP creators, I guess is the best way to describe it. So we picked out 8 items. Karen, Tamir, and I kind of, got together and said, hey, we got all this amazing stuff. Let's do something with it. All right, so what we picked out to use are the Westcott scissors. Now, we got a couple of different kinds, and it was really kind of up to you which pair you wanted to use. I pulled out these beautiful ones. Look how gorgeous these are. We got a set of paper rose dies, so that is what we used. We had a whole bunch of different kinds of Supertite glue, so I picked out one to use. We got the Aladdin iZinc Diamond, and I'm actually going to end up using 3 of them. I already used one here. We got a whole bunch of varieties of different kinds of Crafters Workshop modeling pastes and mediums and stuff, so you can pick out what you want. I'm just using this one. This is the Sterling Silver. We got a stamp set from Hero Arts, which we're going to be using. We got some little pieces from, this is from Art Parts, this is from Joggles, and so the little dresses, we're going to be using that. A whole bunch of different pens from Sakura. And so I'm actually going to be using quite a large variety of those on my project. So we have a whole bunch of different types of pens, and some people might have also used the little art parts from the girls. I chose not to use those. I just wanted to use the dress. Other things that you could use are other tools, because maybe you need to use some other tools. So for instance, I needed to use my die cutting machine in order to die cut this out. Ink, if you needed to use some ink, and like other little tools like this, and then some sort of paper. Whatever paper, whatever substrate you wanted to start it on. It could be cardboard paper, whatever it is. It could be a canvas. Wherever you wanted to go to put these items, how to all assemble it, because we had to be able to die cut something out or to stamp on something or things like that. I needed 3 ovals to make each little piece, and I'm calling this an artist trading oval. AT's O. So you've seen artists trading cards in a circular shape, but you've also seen them in a round, circular and also in a rectangle. I thought, well, why not try in something that's kind of oval? And that's where I kind of went with this, just a little difference. So for each one, I need 3. And I'm going to go ahead and clear off, and I'm going to show you the first step of what I did. All right, so I'm pulling out my scissors. Okay, I am taking my die, and I'm placing my oval. They're all exactly the same size. I'm placing my oval right smack into the middle. Prizes. We have a whole bunch of prizes. Prizes are actually listed down below in the information section, but we have prizes from Hero Arts. We have prizes from Joggles. We have prizes from Supertite, and we also have a prize from Candy Rosenberg, who is a vintage girl, and she's donating a prize to this as well. So how do you enter to get a prize? Leave a comment. It's as simple as that. All right, my table totally was squeaky, so I just sped through that. So all you have to do is just leave a comment on this particular video. And if you would like to have extra entries, leave comments on all the other videos and blog posts, which are linked down below for you guys to check out. Or girls, whoever, you people. And it is simple as that. Contest starts today and it ends on March 8th. And then winners will be announced on my channel on March 12th. And everybody else is going to have their winners announced on their channels as well. So you'll probably go and check out all the channels. More comments, more chances you have to win. All right, so my first one is done. I've cleaned it up. The second one, I'm going to take the complimentary dies. So there are 2 separate dies that are on here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to make another one with this die. And I'm going to make 2 with this die. And we're going to speed that part up for you guys because you don't need to see me die cutting numerous times. Same principle, just kind of washi-taping it down so it doesn't wiggle on me too much. I did make the mistake of not putting a lid on it earlier, or putting the tape down on it earlier, and it shimmied from when I went forward to backwards and ended up like basically cutting it into tiny pieces versus just having layers. So speed up time. Okay, so the next piece I have is I'm going to be taking the 2 backgrounds, and I did this kind of wonky, but you know what? I kind of like the fact that not everything's going to line up perfectly, because there's a certain time of year, and let me get started with this before I go on my rant, that I have to deal with a lot of crap. I'm getting close to the time frame when my daughter passed away. She was 4 months old. And whenever I sit down and just kind of do free art and, kind of have, even though I have a very specific amount of products I'm working with here, It's free. You know, what I create can be very different compared to somebody else, and that's kind of the whole point of this particular project. What I'm using right now is the sterling silver modeling paste. I'm just using it with a palette brush, and all the links for the supplies will be down below for you guys too. So, unbeknownst to me, as I'm creating this little artist training oval, I've basically created a battle angel in a roundabout way. You know, I've got the dress, I've got her sword, I've got her angel wings, you know, and it's my daughter in a roundabout way. And I can look back at videos that I create, projects I create leading up to either her birthday in October or her angel day, coming up on her angel day, can you tell? And whatever I create tends to manifest around angels or butterflies. It just happens. I don't necessarily, nothing in this product line had anything to do with an angel, yet my mind went to adding angel wings. So art therapy is real. It is so real. It is such a thing, and it's apparently what I'm doing today. I needed it. I needed to create this and get this, and it's a very different vibe from what I've made in the past, meaning that it's not something, every time I've ever done it, it's always been kind of dark and kind of negative. You know, it's not a happy point in my life. But this time I turned it into a warrior. It's kind of different. It just, at least that's what I see when I see that piece I put through the middle. She's turned into my little warrior. So maybe she's giving me strength. All right, definitely have to go wash this, and I need to get a check on my emotions here, Erin. Okay, so I've just taken a scrap sheet of paper. Mostly I'm just doing these on scrap sheet of papers because I don't feel like cleaning it later. So I can just throw away the piece of paper. And they're just literally scrap sheets that are left over from other things. So I already did this one, which this is the blue. It's going to call it turquoise. I can't find the color on there. This one, I'm going to be using one that's got a blue on there, very much blue, more of a dark blue. I picked colors that I liked, and I have a green, but I picked a pink, and I always stuck around in pink. It's funny where your mind goes. And then I have a palette knife. So one thing I found is that if I just kind of smear it around, it's acting too much like a stencil, and that's not what I want. What I want to do, see, it's not really getting on there, but it created very awesome as a stencil. I am going to kind of hold it up to get all of that yummy glitter. And this takes a little bit of patience because it's so delicate in here. I'm kind of blotting it on versus smearing it, just kind of getting it on there. And it doesn't need to be perfect. I want to be able to see, and truly, I'm covering up the center when I look at my finished one. So I just need to get the outer pieces looking really good. So coming in, just really working on those outer pieces, applying it, and there it is. And I can kind of scrape up the backside and really get that stuff on there. So there it is. Now I can see it. So when I'm applying it to something small like this, I'm not scraping it like I would a stencil. I'm going to take a little bit off right there because it just looked too lumpy. Instead, I'm kind of patting it. And yeah, I'm getting the backside unlucky, but that's why I have this mat down. Lots of layers of mats I can clean. And obviously I don't clean that one too much. So I can always add a little bit more if I feel like I'm running a little low. There's actually still a ton on the back side of this. Let's see if I can pick it up and really get it on here. So I'm going to do the same thing to this other one, but I'm going to be doing it in the pink color and then just letting it dry off to the side. And while these are drying, we'll be working on the next pieces. So look at that. That's so cool. I think it needs a little bit more. And this stuff dries pretty darn quick. It's already kind of drying on the background here because it's just super fast drying. It's awesome stuff. So let those kind of sit off to the side. Let them do their thing. Clean this off. Put pink on that. Okay, so next we're actually going to be creating with the body. We're going to make the angel. And truly the only thing that is changing on this is the background colors and also the colors of the pens we're using. So we're keeping it very monotone in coloration. I also have my little angel rings, which we're going to cut out. And I just pretty much freehanded. I had a little butterfly punch that I punched out a butterfly, and then I just looked at the butterfly wing and kind of freehand drew, definitely went my own way, but kind of the same concept, and then did a whole bunch of angel wings. So I'm going to really quickly cut these out. Okay, so the next thing I'm doing is I am taking my pens. This is one of the Pigma pens we got from Sakura, and I am outlining her. Oh, actually, there was one other thing we were doing first. So we got the stamp. One of the stamps we got, and a beautiful stamp set from Hero Arts, and I'm totally going to be making this into like just a card, a beautiful card, because it's these layered flowers. They're so gorgeous. But I picked out the one that was basically the outline, and I just loved the outline of this, and I thought it would look really cool, basically as the pattern of the dress. So as one of our extra products we could use was ink. I'm basically just inking up the stamp here and just kind of coming in and stamping on an angle. And I didn't do a very good job, so guess what? I can turn it over. I'm not getting a very good impression on that. At first I debated, do I really want to come in and really get the inside here? There it is. And it just adds a really cool texture. Do I want to do the layered stamp on her dress? And I thought, no, because that's not the emphasis of what I'm really doing here. I basically just want to create some sort of texture to her dress and make it look like it's a pattern. And then when it's all said and together, it makes it kind of look like it's a little bit of some armor on her. It's amazing where the mind goes without you even thinking about it. And that's pretty much where it went. It went from, oh, I need to make a pattern on a dress, and when the whole thing looks together. Yeah, looks like she's got broken armor. Or armor, however you want to look at it. But definitely cool. I'm liking the path that it's taking, even though it's kind of gut-wrenching in some ways. All right, so where am I going to go next? I'm basically outlining. This is a nice big brush. I can get good thick lines here, but I can also come in and get really thin lines. And so I'm just going to outline, first of all, her dress here. So I'm just doing this. And I'm going to quickly take you through. I'm also going to be outlining the wings. Really thick outline on the wings, coming in this way. Nice, big, broad strokes here. Beautifulness is that you can kind of push down a little bit because it's a nice brush tip. There it is. So like that. And then I'm going to come in and I'm just doing a very, very fine tip, and I'm going to add a little bit like of the veins on the wings. So I'm just kind of coming in. Just like this, and then I have another one kind of coming down. So it looks like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for the rest of the wings, outline the rest of the dress here. It's very much repetitive, but you get the idea and speed that up. All right, so now that you can see her dress, you can see her wings, we got to do her sword and her helmet. We're definitely going for Battle Angel here. Okay, so the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pen, and in the pink one, I have a pink micron pen, and I'm doing the smaller layers. So where did these pieces come from? Well, let me show you. When I first got these plates, I wanted to see what they look like in full scale. And so what I did is I cut them out actually as 2 complete sheets of paper, and they nest on top of each other. I mean, that's the purpose of this die, is they nest on top. They're so super gorgeous, and I'm totally gonna be making a card with them. Actually, I already have. And you can check that card out. It was my live video this past Wednesday. So what I did is I had all these little pieces, and if you look, so look, here's the shape right here, that's this piece. From here is the smaller shape that goes right on top of it, right? You also have, here's the bottom part of the sword right there, and then the smaller piece comes from right here. So I pretty much pulled all the little pieces out, and then if you notice, I also gave her little legs, which are the pieces that came from here. It's this piece right here and this piece right here. I just pulled a few of those out. I tried messing around with giving her arms and it just looked funny. So I'm now taking my pink pen to go with the pink one, and I'm basically tracing. I'm just outlining it. I'm giving it an outline, giving it somewhere to kind of have a color to go. It's just giving it something kind of fun. So I have the pink here for the pink one, just like this. There we go. And I'm also doing the same thing to the smaller portion of the helmet. Halo, it's almost like a halo helmet. When I kind of looked at it at first, I was like, oh, it looks kind of like a hat. And nope, it really doesn't have that vibe when you put all the pieces together. So, yep, totally different feel. So I'm totally off camera there. So outline those two pieces. I then am going to take and do the same thing in black on the larger one, just like I did with this one, but a nice fine tip point, as you can see. So I'm just going to take that same brush and outline in that, but I want to show you the blue. So for this, I'm just going to come in, add the blue. You can tell I've been using this particular mat in the background quite a bit because I have a lot of glitter on here and it needs to be cleaned. And I'm not too worried about it looking perfect. When I do these kinds of projects, you know, a very mixed media project, I don't care that it's not perfect looking. Almost in some ways, the imperfections make it look better. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and outline all of these little embellishments here. The other thing I'm going to do, which I have not yet done, there we go, is the legs. I feel like I need to outline the legs just like that, just to give a little definition. So I'll go ahead and outline all this and then we'll assemble. So I have all the pieces to assemble one. Basically, it's just now putting it all together. I have my Supertite Glue Dual Tip Max Glue Pen. It's great because it has a nice fine tip point on it. And basically, all I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over, and this is now dry. This is now dry. It's awesome. And I am going to apply the glue mostly to the tips here. So on top of, there's giveaways for everything and you can get prizes. There's also a coupon code for Supertite down below, so you guys can check that out. So that way you can get a discount on your glue if you choose to use it. One thing about Supertite itself is that it's very low odor to zero odor. It is very family friendly safe. It doesn't have a lot of chemicals in it, and that is just totally amazing. So it's one of the safest glues out there, which I think is fantastic. So layer this down. There we go. Now it may not layer perfectly because I know I did one of my little pieces kind of off-centered, but you get the idea. So it's layered on there. Flip this over, add the glue to this one now too. This one I can be a little more liberal on getting around all the pieces. It also has another pen tip on the other side that opens up to give you a bigger, broader stroke. But I don't think I'm going to be using that for this particular project because all my elements, oh, I did miss one thing. All my elements are little fine pieces. So I'm just going to move that to the side. I forgot, I wanted to add a nice large black line around the entire edge of my oval. Just so it kind of defined it a little bit better. So I'm using this nice big brush stroke here and just kind of coming around the outside of my oval here. Just really emphasizing, basically giving it an illusion that there's another layer on there. There it is. Done. So I'm going to do that to my other circle too. And then come in and you can really see that there's that defining line. It's kind of funny with all the legs on here. It almost looks kind of like a spider. Not the illusion, not the effect I'm going for, but it does kind of have that vibe to it. All right, next we're going to layer up all of our little pieces that go onto each other. So I'm going to take and do the top layer of the helmet / halo. So there you can really see all the defining layers for that. Then I'm also going to do the sword. Add the glue onto the sword. Really get in to try and get to those corners there. Glue that up. There we go. And then I'm going to do her dress. Now, I need to work a little fast, but this glue does have a little bit of time. Sometimes it kind of pops up. There's a lot of layers to this, so things tend to kind of pop up a tiny bit, but it'll work. I'm going to come in with my wings now. Make sure I have my wings facing the correct direction. This is my down point. I have like this little point to it. That is the bottom of the wing. Make sure the wings are layered where they should be. When I first put this guy, I'm going to use this one as my, the wings kind of come off underneath the arms. And when I first put it together, when you first saw it on the beginning of the video, I actually had the oval orientated the different way. And then I just flipped it just to see how I would like it. And I liked this direction better. I liked the way that it was kind of layered. Okay, then I have her thing. Now, I was also debating, do I want to add a head? And no, I don't. For a couple reasons. One, because I don't know what she would look like now. She's my little angel warrior. But I don't know what she would look like at this point in her life. She would look very different than what I remember her at 4 months old. She'd be 10 now, so we're coming up on her 10th angel anniversary in March. And a very different look from when I remember her as an infant. I can kind of guesstimate what I think she might look like based on what her brother and sister look like, brothers and sister. So she does have, oops, I got this backwards. She has one sister, which is Catherine, who you see bump coming up on the show all the time. And as infants, they looked very, very similar. So I would assume that, I'm going to layer this up a little bit, that they would look very, very similar. And my family, everybody always says, or you can definitely tell that the kids are related because they are so similar. So I'll go with that. She'd look like Catherine. And then adding the sword right in the middle. And then it's just a matter of assembling the blue one. But once you see the kind of the assembly of it, they're all very, very the same thing. It's just I did them in different colors. So, you know, it's kind of a fun thing. And I also am thinking, well, why did I make 3 of them? You know, well, I have 3 living children. Maybe that's why I made 3 extras. So my little angel warrior is, and why did I make 2 blues and 1 pink? Because I have 2 boys and a girl with me. I mean, now that I'm kind of thinking about what this is all about, it is kind of like, okay, subconsciously, apparently, my little angel Kristen is watching over her brothers and sisters, and I'm creating that. Wow, it's amazing where your mind goes. I keep saying that, but it is true. So while I collect myself, I will continue gluing, and I'll show you what these look like when they're all done. All right, so they're all assembled. I feel like it needs one final little touch. So I punched out, I have this little tiny punch with these hearts, and I am truly just going to take the same glitter that's in the background, and I am going to coat my heart. So as best as I can, kind of come in and coat and match the color that is on there. I let it dry, so here's this one, just really kind of gentle. There it is. And then that is just going to rest. I want to let it dry first before I apply it to my little warrior angel, but you get the idea. So that is the last step that I'm going to be doing. It goes on there really nicely, actually. And then glue it on there, and I will get pictures for you of what these look like all up close and beautiful. And thanks so much for stopping by and listening to my story. Please don't forget, on a lighter note, to jump on over, leave a comment, so that way you can be entered into the contest to win all the amazing prizes for this wonderful VIP challenge. So we took all of these items. I'm just kind of chatting about it while I make my little heart here. Fingers are the best tool sometimes, I think. So just don't forget to leave a comment. Head on over. Everybody's going to be linked down below in the information section for all the other people that are in this hop, which is so much fun. I love that. And all of us were at Creativation, and all of our different interpretations of what we are going to be creating with the same items, which I think is so much fun. So yeah, that's cool, right? All right. Thanks to guys again for stopping by and listening to me rant, going on and on about my stuff. And hope you guys subscribe. I will see you guys again soon. Don't forget to hit that bell button, and thanks so much. Bye-bye, everybody.